Om Swastiastu, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Shalom, Namo Buddhaya, and Salam Sejahtera for all of us. Okay, today I want to explain my assignment about metals and alloys. First, I'll introduce myself. My name is Ruth Hutagalung with name 22055311158. Okay. I will explain you about alloy steel, and the increased hardenability makes temperate mercury exhibable in heavier parts compared to carbon steel. And low alloy steel are used for application requiring extra toughness or harder steel. And high alloy steel application are in wear, heat, and corrosion. What's the effect of alloying elements? The mechanical properties of steel can change if we add alloying materials such as manganese, chrome, nickel, tungsten, and silicon, and others. It's called alloy steel if the alloying element contains therein resists 0.8%. Okay, we turn to manganese steel. The manganese is also present in every steel, but the content is small. But it can only be said to be an alloying element if the content is more than 0.6%. And the higher the manganese content, the lower the gamma alpha concentration temperature. So that steel with 1.2% manganese content at room temperature or 20 degrees Celsius still has an authentic structure. And this type of the steel is difficult to work but will resistant. Small levels of manganese can reduce the critical cooling state, and therefore steel with a manganese content of 1.0 to 1.2% can be hardened by cooling and quenching oil. Nickel steel. Nickel lowers the gamma alpha compression temperature rapidly. Steel with high nickel content has an authentic structure. This steel is stainless steel, heat resistant, high impact, and fatigue resistant, but cannot be hardened. Nickel steel can be hardened in oil and water. And chromium steel. Chromium plays a role in the formation of carbide. This carbide compound is very hard, and by itself the hardness of the steel will increase. And chrome is also causes steel to have a finer grain structure, causing a very large reduction in the critical cooling rate. Molybdenum steel. Molybdenum plays a very important role in the formation of carbide, and molybdenum increases the strength and elongation of the steel. And especially when subject to continuous loading, and also increase the temperature. And it also still doesn't tend to form a coarse grain structure, so it is quite resistant to heat. Okay, we turn to vanadium steel. Vanadium steel's high carbon content is required, and vanadium steel's heat resistant and increased cutting ability, the resistance to friction. And tungsten steel. Tungsten like molybdenum, but it's a strong former carbide, by the way, and having strong effect on hardability and inhibits the softening rate of maritime is tempering quantity of tungsten is required, and still with 18% tungsten content and 0.7% carbon is already eptectoid upper, although some of the carbon is used for the formation of tungsten carbide. And silicon steel. Silicon is present in every steel, but its content is small. But it can only be said to be an alloy and element if its content is more than 0.5%. And silicon is useful for increasing the stretch or creep limits or plastic limits. Silicon lower critical cooling speed, as silicon alloy steel can be harnessed deep cold. And stainless steel. Stainless steel is the most important iron alloy that resists corrosion. And stainless steel is a material that contains a compound of iron and at least 10.5% chromium to prevent corrosion. And the ability to resist rust is obtained from the formation of a chromium oxide film layer that blocks the iron oxidation process. Okay, we turn to authentic stainless steels. Authentic stainless steels, are also known as chromium nickel steels, with nickel content above 8% are ideal combination for practical application related to their protection, corrosion resistance, and mechanical characteristics. Tool steels. In applications requiring higher thermal resistance, shock resistance, and wear resistance, alloy to steel should be used. All these steels use carbide forms such as tungsten, molybdenum, chromium, and vanadium. The main function of this element is to increase hardenability and increase resistance to softening at tempering, and to form hardening wearing temperature resistant carbide. Okay, this double classification of two steels. With water hardening carbon to steel for hammers, concrete breakings, headings, and O for oil hardening cold work, low oil to steel for taps, salt treating dies, drawing dies for wires, and A air hardening cold work, medium alloy to steel for treat rolling and Sweden dies and increase die shapes. Okay, cast irons. Cast irons are basically alloy of iron and carbon containing between 2 and 6.67% carbon and having almost no ductily. Casting is the only suitable process for shaping these alloys. They are therefore known as cast iron. Okay, gray cast iron is the commonest types of cast iron containing 5 to 4% carbon and 1 to 3% silicon, and a large fraction of the carbonizes in the form of graphite flakes embedded in the matrix, and this gives the characters dark appearance in a freshly broken surface of gray cast iron. Is the production by uniculating molten cast iron as is poured from furnace smelting or damp with a small amount of magnesium. And spherical graphite structure unlike graphite in the form of flake, and it doesn't produce high stress concentrations. This silver. Okay, and white cast iron. The product is this cast iron which contain carbon in a combined form as cemented. The total carbon content is kept between 2.0 and 0.5%. The silicon content below 1%, and the casting is cooled rapidly by such methods as the use of chiller graphite inserts in the mold. Malleable cast iron is produced by a special heat treatment of white cast iron namely, and heating at about 950 degrees Celsius for nearly 50 hours followed by slow cooling. And those the elements and alloy cast iron, the elements are added to cast iron for improving its mechanical properties and heat treatment characteristics and resistance to corrosion, heat, or wear. Okay, wrought iron. The carbon content of the iron is generally below 0.08%. The manganese content below 0.06%, and while the selenium content usually varies between 1 and 3% by weight. And mechanical properties of wrought iron are constantly those of pure iron. However, due to the presence of fibrous slag, the tensile strength and actually are greater in the longitudinal or rolling direction than in the transverse direction. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and thank you.